Happy Monday, guys. Joe Rosen here with the amazing Lissette Hurtado. And today we're talking about I am a new buyer, right? First time home buyer. Can I purchase new construction? Lissette, am I able to purchase new construction as a first time home buyer?
Absolutely. And I love to sit down with my clients and see if this works on their time frame. That's one of the major questions I ask to see if this is an option. Because if it does, there's so many incentives and so many pros and that are with new construction. And it's pretty exciting because a lot of time first time home buyers don't know that this is an option for them. So when they do find out, their face lights up because it's a new opportunity. They're looking at newer homes, and just everything else that comes with that.
Yeah, I think you get it in your head that, maybe that's a second, third, fourth house is a new construction house. But when you're looking at, I mean, in Port St. Lucie alone, but this, if you're watching in another state, in another city, it's probably pretty accurate. What I'm about to say here, the average price in Port St. Lucie is 390 to 400 right now. You can get a new construction in that 380 to 400
Yes.
range. So it's really not only possible, but it's affordable. And there is zero distinction between a first time home buyer and a second, third, fourth, fifth time home buyer when it comes to new construction. They're looking at the same things. They want to look at your employment, they want to look at your credit score, they want to look at how much you're putting down. But it does not matter if you're a first time home buyer or not. You can still get a lot of the same incentives. There are some great incentives depending upon the builder you're working with and if they've got a particular lender program. Some have them, some don't. I will tell you, run all the costs when it comes to those incentives. Those incentives are awesome, but they're usually built into the cost. They're not just going to give you that
Mhm.
stuff for free, right? But a lot of times you can get that, right? So it's phenomenal to look around and see what you can get when it comes to new construction. And it solves that problem of I'm picky. We got a lot of people right now who are picky, understandably so. It's a big decision. But if you're picky and there's no inventory, man, new construction can really solve that problem. So tell me, there's a couple different types of new construction out there. If I'm looking at new construction, what are my different options?
So you have your custom builder, which is amazing option to have. Financing is a little bit different. It may be a little bit more difficult if you're a first time home buyer and you just started working maybe on your credit or you have limited reserves. So that's one of the options that we have, but we really need to sit down with a lender and see if you would qualify for that. And then we have our production builders. And those are builders that have set models, set plans. They already know on what lot, what model is going to go for the most part. And you go ahead and sit down with them and decide what model you want. And then they do work with FHA, conventional, VA buyers. So that opens up the whole pool of buyers that and options for you guys. One thing that I love is that a lot of builders do offer closing cost assistance. Now they may not pay all your closing costs, but $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 could be a huge difference for a first time home
Yeah.
buyer.
Yeah. I just did two in the last month, and both of
Mhm.
them offered $8,000 each for closing costs. So
Wow.
that's a nice little perk, right?
Yeah.
And really, when you look at a lender that we probably would have recommended versus the lender they've got, the rates were identical, the costs were identical, everything was identical. So really a good situation. I will tell you, then you might say, okay, when wouldn't I use their lender? I've had situations with production builders, right? Bigger builders who are wonderful till you get that signature down, and then all of a sudden it's tough to hear from them, right? Look up the reviews. If you see that communication is a challenge, realize that yes, you might get the home, but man, if you've got any questions along the way, it might be challenging to get in touch with them. And then it's just an easy question of, is it worth it? Is it worth the, in this case, $8,000? For some people, they're going to say, I'll take horrible service. Just give me the 8 grand. For other people, they want the great service. They want to know that they've got someone there for them. So really, there are a lot of different things to consider. If you get in touch with your realtor, Lissette, me, if you've got a realtor, great. They can show you the different areas where you can get into production building, which right now, Lissette, correct me if you've heard anything different, but pretty much, I'll say this, most builders are 10 to 12 months, unless you're in an area where it's just, they are inundated, right? So I went to, I think it was Manderley the other day. A lot of people building in Manderley. So they're talking 16, 18 months out. That's the only builder I've
Wow.
heard say that. Everyone else is 10 to 12 months. Is that what you're hearing?
I am. You also have certain builders that might have a little bit shorter time frame, but with these properties, you have to keep in mind you're going to have less options just because they've already started the permits and they've probably already started also construction. So you may be able to get in there 6, 7, 8 months. But you're not going to be able to pick out your tile, your colors, probably anything at all, to be honest. But if you like what they have to offer, hey, you get in there quicker than other builders.
Awesome point. And guys, I really, again, I would say that everything starts with a realtor or a lender. You got to get in front of one, right? And then the other one will hook you up with the other one. But really, I'd almost start with a realtor here because you don't know which lender you want to go to. And it's really going to depend on the type of build that you want to do. There are really only a handful of really good custom new construction lenders in the area who can do it, know how to do it well, do enough they can get it done. Whereas a lot of lenders can do your traditional VA, FHA, conventional loans. So you're really going to want to make sure you get the right lender for that. But phenomenal topic. If you guys have any questions on this, please put them in the comments, whether you're on Facebook or YouTube. Lissette, I'm going to let you end it out. Is there any great advice that you would give a first-time home buyer when they're trying to decide between new construction and a pre-existing home?
So if you're in a situation where the time allows you to go new construction, really, really consider it. Right now in this market, it's a difficult market for buyers, and there's so many incentives. Also, think about insurance rates. You have a brand new property, brand new roof, compared to a resale property, which may be a little bit more aged.
Yeah.
You might have better insurance rate on, well, not might, you will have better insurance
Yeah.
rate on the new construction home. And you have warranty. There's just so much more to consider when you're thinking about new construction. So if it's something that fits in your timeline, really sit down with your realtor, meet with builders, do your homework, and consider it, because it may save you a lot of headaches in this market.
I love that. All right. Well, thank you, Lissette. I appreciate you. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Have an awesome weekend. If you need anything, as always, just reach out.